Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Unfility with Malu. I'm your host and today I want to talk about how am I going to say it? How am I even going to start this video? I'm a little sick. I don't know if you can notice, but my throat is a little sore. But what I want to talk about today is for the women, is for the girls, is for the gays, is for the people that fall for men. The hetero man can stay here if you want to, but this video is going to be more dedicated to the women. Why? Because I don't date women, okay? So I cannot talk about my experience on dating women because I don't date women at all, okay? So I had several conversations about how we as women just used to get played by men. And you know, as a young girl, it was very hard to navigate and go through life and know when a man is serious with you and when not. Especially even now, people can be such good actors. I will say people, I will not say men the whole time, you know. But yeah, so people can be such good actors. Even when you look at XYZ and he takes off all the boxes, there's still a possibility that you're gonna get played. Yeah. So today's topic is going to be about how you can try your best to not be played by a man. Because when you really think about it, like, I don't even want to sound male-centered. That's not even my goal for today. Not everything is about men, but at the same time, we live amongst them. We live together. We have these experiences. And I just wish sometimes that I had a big sister who would, you know, just educate me on some of the stuff so I wouldn't have to go through it myself. But now I'm here, so now I can be your big sister, and this is for the women that can also relate to me. I'm 21 now and I know I'm still young. Like, everyone still tells me like, oh, you're so young, like the one is still gonna come and it's not your time. Yeah, I know. Okay, I know that. I am very aware of that, but it's not about what I still need to look forward to in the future. It's about what I've already been through in my life up till now. Let's just get into it. Okay, so as y'all know, I have daddy issues. So I never really had a dad that would give me advice on guys, like, especially not in an African household, especially not in a not Muslim household, because I didn't really grow up with my dad, but my dad is African and Muslim, so that's double homicide. Then you have my mom, and my mom is just very liberal, and she just let me do whatever I wanted to do. Since I didn't really have my dad, and because of not really feeling like I fit in, I already started fantasizing from an early age, like, oh, I want to get married. But I think as women, we all have done that, thinking about who we're gonna marry, who our first boyfriend is gonna be, you know, all that stuff. When I got into high school, I also went into puberty very young. I don't want to share too many details. So I went into puberty pretty early, and I started to this and then experience like being in love and watching the love story movies and everything at a younger age. So what happened was, I got my first boyfriend when I was 13 years old. I know, yeah, that's very young. And you know, when I have children, I will not advise them to get into a relationship at 13, but also I want to give them the values and the knowledge to understand why I don't want them to get into a relationship at 13. Because the thing is, going into a relationship at 13 is not really necessarily the problem. The problem is that as a young girl, you think that you are going to stay forever with someone just because they find you pretty, or just because they're funny, or just because y'all get along well. Even though that's not the case, a teenage boy is not thinking about marriage. Even in your 20s, like, from what I'm noticing, the men are not even looking for marriage. So it's like, why would I want to be put in a situation like that at 13, building something up with someone? Because I already took it very seriously, because I felt like, okay, I'm gonna stay together with this person, even though I still needed to explore the freaking world. Like, girl, what were you thinking? But yeah, you know, I was in love, so what else was I supposed to do? But your standards are also very low when you're in middle school or high school, because why did I like this guy? I liked this guy because he was funny and he was chocolate. Because in elementary school, I only saw white guys and the white guys didn't like me. So then the black guy showed me interest and I was like, ooh, but you cute and you chocolate and you funny and you can make me laugh and this and that, you know what I mean? So yeah, so when I got into a relationship with this person, it was actually the beginning of the end. Like, you know, you need to go through certain character development to grow as a person and to know your worth. That was the type of relationship that I had, because I had no backbone back then. But well, would I expect to have a backbone? Well, hell no, because I was 13. But you know what? Life is life. So what actually happened in that relationship, to sum it up, is there was abuse, and this person was 2.5 years older than I was. There was abuse, there was cheating, and the cheating was disrespectful, guys. And there are still things that I only find out about now, and we are like 6 years later, 6 years after the breakup. I broke up with this person in 2020. I'm still hearing things, I'm still finding out things of what he did in our relationship, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, anyway, so there was a physical abuse, there was sexual abuse, there was emotional abuse. I had it coming from every corner, okay? I'm joking about it now. It was not funny at the time. But I finally broke up with this person because I was like, you know, I need to spread my wings. I need to go and look what I want to do in my life, you know, and I don't want to be here anymore because I cannot grow in this relationship. So this man started stalking me. And there's one thing I'm gonna say, one thing to look out for when you are dating, when someone is interested in you, is when they show signs of insecurity towards you. Because if they do, you need to run. Literally, there is no chance that you can be in a healthy relationship with this person. There's no chance at all. The first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna put you on a pedestal because, oh, you are so perfect, and they pretend like you're Beyonce, and then you're like, oh, don't put me on the pedestal. Because what that does is now you make a mistake in a relationship, and they're gonna put so much blame on you because you are not the perfect human being they thought you were. A lot of times men don't see women as human beings. They don't think that we go to the toilet to take a shit. I'm not saying all men, I'm saying a lot of them. They think we are these perfect human beings, these angels that are ready to submit to them. They don't see us as emotional human beings that also have needs in a relationship and are our own person and whatever. Because obviously there was also a lot of control going on in that relationship. So boom. So now you're in a relationship with a guy. He's insecure. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna try and control you. I wasn't allowed to go outside with no bra. Mind you, I was not Muslim and I was young as fuck. So it's like, and I wouldn't listen, obviously. I wouldn't listen, and we would get into fights, and then he would strangle me. And I'm laughing, but it's not funny, especially not at that age. Anyway, when I was 15, I felt like I need to get turned up. You know, I'm almost turning 60 now. Need to leave that relationship. Boom. Now I'm coming back into life after 2.5 years of being in a relationship. How am I gonna navigate myself through life now, knowing what I need to do with men? Because now I still have my daddy issues and I'm traumatized by my previous relationship. So let's just say, did I have a whole phase? It's crazy to say that at 16, but you know, I already started young. Did I have a whole phase? I don't really think so. But I did have a phase where I was like, you know, I just wanna see what's out there. So then I got into that. And then the second point I also want to make, when you get into contact with another person, is don't throw yourself at them. Like, don't give too much of yourself so soon. Because I would think to myself, like, why would I lie? You know, if I'm saying something, I mean it. So if they say something, they must also mean it. No. That's not how it works, especially not with men, because what men will also do is they will play very nice in your face. The only thing they want to do is get into your trousers. Doesn't matter how innocent you are, doesn't matter how pure you are with your intentions, especially when you are innocent. For example, if a guy with bad intentions sees someone that's just very much out of his league, he sees it as more of a challenge. You know, when a man stands next to a good woman, it also automatically elevates him. So you need to be very cautious of who you talk to, of who you give your energy and your time to, honestly. An insecure man can literally end your life, okay? Because like I said, they're gonna put you on a pedestal, right? That's also what my previous ex did with me. We got together with each other and he was admiring me for wearing the headscarf, admiring me because I was doing very good in my religion. And I told him, you have max 6 months. I am being serious right now. I was 19 at that point and I actually still felt like wanting to settle with a man, because I was thinking like, I went through so much shit in my life, so I just want to settle with the love of my life. So I told him, you have 30 minutes. I am being strict and I want my next relationship to be my last one. So if you're not going to be serious with me, like I was standing on the business. But then I softened up. I started making excuses for him. Oh, he canceled on me. Oh, there's no problem. And I started jumping for him, and I started like doing all these things, kept on pushing and pushing the boundaries. That's also a thing. Men will always test your boundaries and men will always try to push it further. You need to be strict with the boundaries. Je moet ze kort bij de leiband houden. So sorry. Like, if you are not strict and you don't stand on what you said, you are cooked. Because also another thing is, men will not believe you. There are a lot of women, also me in the past, there are a lot of women that let things slide after they set the boundary, and then that proves to the man like, oh, she's just saying whatever, she doesn't mean what she's saying, because when I do XYZ, I can still get what I want. Don't do that shit. Men learn by consequences, not by your words, okay? So yeah, so boom. So now I started getting into some trouble with this guy. He started acting distant and this and that. That was the point that I needed to leave the relationship. What did I do? I stayed. Why? Because I'm trying to be a psychologist for him. I'm trying to understand him. I'm trying to caress him because, oh, he has communication problems and, you know, he has trouble at home. So I need to help him because I can save him. I can save the relationship if I just try hard enough. No, babes, you can't. When you do that, he's gonna hate you even more. He's already showing you like, oh, I don't really want to invest in this, or maybe I'm not good enough for her, because that's also what he said. He said, I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. And what would I say? No, you are good enough for me. We just need to work on our communication. So then what is he gonna think in his mind? He's gonna think like, is she stupid? She could get so much better than me, and now she's fighting for me, even though I'm trying to run away from her. So she has no self-respect. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna destroy her even more. Kaboom, kabow. And then everything blew up again. And then it already destroyed me to the point where I was just spiraling. I couldn't even be in class and focus on my class. So now I'm already having mental health issues. I stopped eating and all that. And then we came together one time just to talk about the last time, because the last time didn't end well, blah, blah, blah. We got back together, and what happened? He played in my face again, because he's thinking like, I can do whatever I want now. That's also where I drew the line, because I did do something. I cannot say that on the internet, because imagine if someone that wants to date me watches my video and then he's gonna think that I'm a crazy bitch for doing what I did. But anyway, so then everything blew up again, and that was the end of the end. That was horrific. This man took the light out of me in a way where I just didn't feel alive anymore. I just felt like I was drowning. And obviously around me there were also other things happening. It's not only because of a man that I stopped eating, but I had constipation problems. I would just sit in my room with the curtains closed for a couple of days, wouldn't go to the gym, wouldn't cook, wouldn't do anything, okay? I kept on losing weight. This ass was going away, and I just didn't know what to do with myself. And one thing I noticed before we broke up for the last time is he would constantly ask me questions about, oh, who are you seeing at the gym? And are there men coming up to you at the gym? Are there men coming up to you at school? How many DMs do you get in a day from men? Like blah, 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 blah. Constantly asking me about how many men give me attention. I was always thinking to myself, like, why would you ask me that? Turns out you're jealous. I just think you're jealous and insecure. And I also think that's why you wanted to cheat on my ass, because it's like, you are a serial cheater. So that means that you feel insecure in yourself, and you need to look for that validation somewhere else. And you just need to cheat. If you don't cheat, your hands start sweating. Plus asking me all those questions about if I get attention from men. It's just weird. It just feels to me like you were in competition with me because you know I'm better than you, and then you wanted to cheat as much as possible just to prove to yourself and maybe also prove to your friends that you can do the same thing and you have the same options. But baby, I don't need to put an effort for that, and people like me naturally. You need to run after the girls and you still get rejected because I saw the messages. Anyway, so that was the end of the end, and I feel like I really needed that character development. You know what? Like, that happened when I was 20. I had that first heartbreak. I moved on quickly. I went through my first heartbreak when I was 15, okay? That already boxed me up. Boom, fist from underneath, fist from the side. And then I had the second one at 20. And now I'm 21 and I'm really enjoying my life without feeling attached to a man. And I'm clocking shit earlier because I noticed the same behavior in the previous partner that I had. So boom, the funniest thing I can encounter, and actually also one of the most disrespectful things, is a man feeling intimidated by me because he's gonna try and humble you so badly and just stomp you into the ground just to lift himself up. My ex would, you know what? I'm not gonna go into that because then all of y'all gonna say that I'm dumb as fuck, because when I'm in love, I'm really in love. So I'm actually not gonna talk about what I gave to my ex and what I did for him to, you know, to help him. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna reveal that because then I will look like a bird brain ass bitch. But yeah, so you cannot be with a man that is insecure because he's just gonna humble you. He's going to try and humble you. He's going to try and make you feel insecure out of nowhere. And then he's going to have control of you. And he's going to take all the light out of you and just leave you there. I will give you another example of men feeling intimidated. Once upon a time, a longer time ago, when I was still in my prime at the gym, I could squat 100 kg and like 3 or 4 times, 4 reps. That's a lot for a 16, 17-year-old girl. A man would reply to my story, "No, that's not possible." And I was like, "Why is that not possible? You can see the video." And he was like, "Because you're a woman and I don't even squat that heavy." Okay, so then get out of my face and go to the gym. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And why are you even commenting that under my story? Weird ass shit. Another example at the gym is me doing bicep curls, and there's a stupid ass man coming to me telling me, "Oh, you need to lower the weight." Why do I need to lower the weight if my form is okay? No, you need to lower the weight because you're a woman and your bicep muscles are smaller, so you should do higher reps with a lower weight. I tried that shit. That man wanted me to do 20 reps of bicep curls. The fuck are you talking about? I just stopped and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna do my own thing because you are not even a personal coach, so get the fuck out of my face. What are you talking about? Then another time I was seeing a guy for a little bit, right? And he would act nonchalant the whole time. And I was just thinking, like, why are you acting nonchalant? Because then when I would go out and he would see me outside and other men would approach me and try and talk to me, he would act all jealous and text me afterwards. So it's like, why are you pretending from the start? I don't like it when people are just not genuine with me. Because you also think that I'm so dumb that you can play me, and I don't like that shit. Another time, this guy, he was putting me on the pedestal so much, convinced me of being genuine with me. We were in the city together. We were standing in line to go buy something, and all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, but I can see your mustache. You have a mustache. Ha 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 ha." Started laughing at me. Ha 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 ha. Then he went on vacation, came back and told me the last day of his vacation, he went to a strip club. You're testing me. You are actually testing me. And then he expected me to accept it. Is that clown written on my forehead? That's what I'm asking myself when these things keep happening, because it's like, who do you think you are? What is actually going on? What is actually going on? No, I'm cutting you off because you're testing me. You are testing my boundaries. You're trying to push my boundaries and you're trying to make me insecure. Okay? When I went through my breakup, I was under eating for a long time. Then I was speaking to a guy, and in that particular week, I ate a lot, so I felt bloated because I was overeating all of a sudden. My relationship with food was not healthy. Why the F am I hearing from him? "Oh, you got so fat, look at your stomach." Hey, cut you off immediately, because who do you think you are? These are just things where I'm thinking like, nah, these are signs of insecurity, which make me dislike men even more, because these are so random comments that I get and it's like, why are you so comfortable saying stuff like that to me? Weird as shit. I went to the gym. There's a coach. I say hi to him, this and this and that. Now, all of a sudden, he feels comfortable. So I see him a couple of times at the gym. I want to give him a hand. Why the F is he like doing this with my hand? Like, he's actually trying to hurt me. Like, are you okay? You are still a coach at the gym. Like, don't think you're my friend. What the fuck are you doing? And then I told him, like, can you please let go of me? You're hurting me. Pourquoi? Oh, aren't you strong? You said you were strong. You said you did judo. Oh, so you feel intimidated by me doing judo, having done judo, because I don't do judo anymore. So you feel intimidated by that, and that's why now you're trying to scrunch my hand and actually hurt me. Get the fuck out of my face. And then I just stopped saying hi. And he made comments like, oh, you don't say hi anymore. No, because I actually don't have to. This was just charity work. This was just me being polite, saying hi to you at the gym. A last example, and this was actually even yesterday. So there was another coach, boom, he's also Guinean, just like me. We have the same last name, okay? So he came into the gym. I saw him a few times before. I grabbed my mat, I lay it down, but he was also there with one of his clients. So I asked him, like, do you want me to move a little bit? Am I in the way? No, you're not in the way. He comes up to me, he starts speaking to me. Oh, how long are you? Try to win me over to also take him as his coach and subscribe to him, okay? But I don't need a coach. I've been going to the gym since I was 14, so that's 8 years. Yeah, that's 8 years. So I don't really need a coach. So I said no thank you, and I tried to be polite. What does this nigga say in my face? He's like, oh, but have you even made any progress? Like, I see you at the gym every time and I don't see your progress. Excuse me? First of all, I'm wearing quite oversized things, how are you even able to see specific changes in my body? Secondly, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to call me fat? And then in between, in 2025, sometimes I stopped going to the gym for like a couple of weeks because I felt freaking depressed and life was kicking me in my butt. Yeah, and then what? I don't need to explain myself to you. So I just said, excuse me. And he was like, yeah, I can already see that you need some work done. Like, I can see it in your shoulders. Your shoulders need more work. Okay, you're actually playing with me right now. So I just said, no, I don't need a coach. Thank you so much. I tried to keep it polite again. But I had already given him my number because he said like, oh, if you change your mind, this and that. I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll just give my number. I'm not gonna change my mind either way. But I gave it so you can leave me alone. So I gave my number. This nigga asked me on Snapchat, are you actually okay? Are you actually insane? Do I need to report you to the worker that works there? Or do I need to yell in your face? Because either way, you're gonna be done. Like, I feel like I can be much more meaner to people, especially men, when it comes to certain situations, because he made me feel very uncomfortable, but then I'm afraid to make him uncomfortable. And that's also a thing I needed to learn, and I'm still practicing this. Like, sometimes I do what I need to do, and sometimes I just prefer to stay quiet and just handle things in a more friendly manner. But don't feel guilty for making other people feel uncomfortable when they didn't give a shit about making you feel uncomfortable. You can do the same thing, honestly. So then next, I didn't accept the request. I took a screenshot of it. From now on, I'm just doing my stuff. I'm not really saying hello. I'm just going to the dressing room, going to do my workout, and that's it. Why the fuck is he looking for me? He's literally searching for me. And then when he comes into my space while I'm wearing my headphones, he said something. I removed my headphones. I was like, what's going on? Oh, you didn't say hi to me. Why the fuck do I need to say hi to you? And the same freaking thing happened yesterday. I was trying to avoid this guy. Every single time I come into the gym, he always makes the comment, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, you haven't been here in a while. Yes, I have been. The world doesn't revolve around you. Like, I can go to the gym whenever I want. I don't need to go to the gym at the same time that you are going. I don't need to explain myself for why you haven't seen me at the gym. That's bogus. Anyway, I was doing my warming up yesterday. I was also talking on the phone because I sometimes talk on the phone at the gym. At the very start of the gym, he came all the way to the back just to say hi. I said to the person on the phone, wait a second. I removed my headphones. I was like, yeah, what? He was like, oh, what do you mean what? You didn't say hi to me. I was like, so why should I say hi to you? And he was like, no, because we share the same last name and we have the same ethnicity. I was like, okay, and he was like, well, that's not very polite of you. And I was like, I'm just here to do my workout and leave. And he was like, yeah, but still. I just put my headphones back on. I just started talking to that person again on the phone, because I was thinking to myself, like, just get the fuck out of my face right now, because you can clearly see that I'm not in the mood. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to intimidate me? Are you trying to force me to talk to you? Next time I see him at the gym, it's gonna be on site. If he tries this shit on me once again, it's over. I'm actually, well, I cannot even really cuss in French, so I'm just gonna do it in English, I guess. Yeah. So boom. But my thing is, yes. So women, this is why I said this video is gonna be for the women, for the girls, because I don't want to sound like I'm just nagging about men and I'm a man hater. To be honest, yeah, I do say that I hate men, but I hate men as a system. There's a difference between the two, okay? And that's also something I want to talk about. There's a difference between women saying that they hate men and men saying that they hate women. Like, when women hate men, they hate men as a system. They hate when men act misogynistic. They hate when men don't treat them like equals. They hate when men are trying to bring them down. When men say I hate women, women literally don't feel safe on the street. The worst thing that can happen to a man because a woman says that she hates man, I cannot even really think of it. Not really something that would put him in danger in such a way. If a man hates a woman, there's a woman that gets abused on the streets, or the woman gets kidnapped, or the woman gets sexually assaulted, the woman gets denied in certain spaces. That's what happens when men hate women. You can literally die because a man hates you. And you know what? There are men out there, again, I don't know if there are women out there, I don't date women. There are literally men out there that hate women so much that they spread HIV to the woman, and they know they have HIV and they just spread it to the woman just because they hate women and they just want to ruin the woman. But I feel like because of my experiences with men, there are many more. But again, I don't want to sound like I'm nagging too much, I'm being male-centered. But with my experience, I just became so much stricter when it comes to my dating life, and I'm also much quicker to cut someone off when I just feel in my bones that something is not right. And that's something that you need to practice. I hope that some girls don't need to go through that to have that knowledge. I really hope so, because I honestly also don't know what I want to do with when I have a daughter. Like, when I have a daughter, how am I gonna give that value to her that she shouldn't be in a relationship till like the age of 18, whatever? Also, how am I gonna explain to her that is the most important thing, to be very strict with these guys and to not let them play in her face? Like, how can you explain that to a child? Because normally, if my mom would give me any advice on things, I wouldn't want to listen, because I'm like, ugh, whatever, you don't understand how I think, you don't understand what I mean. My cousin is 17, so she's 4 years younger than I am, and I swear to you, we have the exact same life. Everything I go through, she goes through in sync around the same age. So when I was 16, I was going through the same thing she was going through when she got 16. I also always gave her advice, and this girl never wanted to listen to me. Sometimes she was even like, I know you're right, but I'm not gonna listen to you because I just don't feel that way. I was like, you know what, girl, okay, do it yourself. But I'm scared for my girls, because how as a young girl are you gonna navigate through the world? You have a pure soul. You haven't been hurt really on that type of level. I am doubting if I really protect my future daughter from things like that happening, because I would never want her to go through the things I went through. But it feels like it's inevitable. It feels like I can just do my best, and then I just need to let her go out in the world and just explore it by herself. That's scary as shit. But I do believe there are good men out there, obviously. There are good men out there, but where? I don't know. That's why I'm so unbothered when it comes to relationships right now. I am open to getting to know someone, but it's also just so easy for me to cut it off. It's really not a focus of mine, because I know most of these men just ain't shit. So I shouldn't put my focus on settling down. It's all right. I can just do what I want. I say that a lot in my videos. I will just do what I want. Anyway, I can just do what I want, and the man will be the plus. And because I will not give up so much of myself anymore when I get into a relationship, or when I get to know a man, or at least so quickly, it will also be easier to cut something off, because you will not feel like you've already lost something into the relationship. So girls, conclusion, don't get played by these men, and don't focus on these men. well, that's not even what I want to say. Like, men, like I say, we live amongst each other, so men are obviously going to be a part of your life, and you are not male-centered for wanting to be in a relationship, and you're not male-centered for wanting to be loved by a man. It's just that, just know when to leave. That's the most important thing. Don't try and stay because you think that things are going to get better, because you think that he just made a mistake. Men, people in general, this is not even about men. When people do you wrong, they know exactly what they're doing. Men are not these little children that you should teach how to behave in a polite, respectful way towards you, and that you need to teach in such a way how to love you, because they know exactly what they're doing, and they know they can get away with it because you are such an empath and you want to fix this relationship and everything. Leave when it's still early, because most of the time when you see things in the beginning, they're only gonna get worse over time, and then you will regret not leaving. I am not joking with you guys. Like, I literally died. The version of me of last year literally died. I can still remember around this time, only thing I would do was just cry in my bedroom, to the point where my mom and my grandma literally came from Limburg to Brussels, which is like a 1.5 hour drive. They literally came to visit me because they were afraid I was gonna do something to myself, and because they were worried about me. Like, I'm not joking with you guys. Like, that's also why they say in Islam relationships are haram, because being in love can be a disease, it can be an addiction, it can be a sickness, and when you go through heartbreak, you just die. You just die, and you get reborn again. It was okay that this happened to me, because now I'm even more of a boss woman. Now my standards are even higher, and now I'm even stricter. So that's good for me, because now I know even more of what I want. And sometimes the building needs to get broken down for it to be built up again in a better way, with better isolation and even thicker walls. So that's good. And you know what? You will never regret your standards being too high, but you will always regret your standards being too low. So yeah, so that's that. I spoke a lot today because I had a lot to say. Take care of yourself. Also the men, if the men are still listening and they didn't end the video because they were thinking like, oh, this bitch keeps talking about men and she keeps nagging about us. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye bye. I've been doing what I want. It's a pickup in the back by the trunk in the front. Tequila in the back, daddy blunts in the front. Purse 101, first 101. I got the money, make a